Doot. Doot. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another welcome to another episode of 10 Unedited Minutes with Marlena. Today is, I believe, episode 23, and we are moving right along with these episodes. I'm so excited to join you every morning. This morning's episode is brought to you by a very dear friend of mine who has agreed to sponsor 2 months worth of my episodes, and she does not want to be recognized. So I am very, very grateful for that. And if you want to be a sponsor of my episode, it's $25 a month and a very minimal investment, but I will mention your name before my podcast, after my podcast, and put it on every piece of social media that I put out there for my podcast. So get a hold of me, send me a message on here. If you know me personally, text me, shoot me a message on Facebook, whatever. But let's get started. Yesterday, my daughters and I and one boyfriend went to Columbus, and during this trip, my daughters wanted to experience the Goodwill bins. Okay? If you've never experienced Goodwill bins, then are you a thrifter? I'm joking. The Goodwill bins, they are on the south side of Columbus, and they're attached to this huge Goodwill location, I guess, for lack of a better word. And Goodwill uses it for trading facility. They have an actual Goodwill store there, and then they have a room off to the side, actually a warehouse off to the side, where they pull these bins out. And these bins are full of, I am assuming, the stuff that doesn't sell at a Goodwill store. They throw it in these bins, and then people come like vultures and dig through these bins, and you can buy clothes, you can buy toys, you can buy houseware items, almost anything you see at a Goodwill store you can buy, and you pay by the weight. So like if you pick out a bunch of clothing from your bin, I think it's like $2.50 a pound. So you put it in a bag, you throw it on the scales, they weigh it, and then you pay them for it. But it's an experience, right? So you have to, if you want to go, you first of all have to plan some time, and second of all, you have to plan some patience because there are people there. I'm not sure what their game is, but they stand there and wait for them to bring out a new bin, and then you just see like 30 people attacking this bin and just clothes flying through the air, and it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So if you don't mind not getting the very first bin, I guess, then you go and you ruffle through the bins that have already been picked through. But I found some good stuff. I found some cute tops and stuff in the pre pick through bins, I guess. And I think our find of the day was my granddaughter. She stayed back with Papa all day and really wanted to go with us. But I told her, I said, Grammy will bring you something super special, super fun. And I did. We found her, she loves Paw Patrol. And we found her the Paw Patrol bus, and it opened up, and a helicopter, like literally the little spinny thing on the top of the helicopter would spin, and it would like raise up at it. It was actually really cool. And then another like Paw Patrol car garage, I'm not sure what it was, but my daughter looked it up. We paid $2.50 for each of these pieces, so $5. And she looked it up, and it had a value of over $100. And my daughter was like, I looked at this, I was going to get her this for Christmas, and she didn't. And she's glad she didn't now because we paid $2.50 for it. So we were really excited about that. My granddaughter absolutely loved it. She was very excited. My daughter was going to have her leave one of the toys at my house and take one home because they don't live in a very big apartment. But of course, we could not leave that bus at my house. It had to go home with them. And I'm just so tickled. I just love when I bring my granddaughter a present and it's like her life for the next day because Grammy gave it to her. Just love it. So, anyway, thrifting. I am a thrifter. I have said this before that I find enjoyment in finding, vintage things at a thrift store. I've dabbled in reselling it, but it's more of just an enjoyment for me to go into these thrift stores and find, just like that toy, find $150 item for $2. Like, that's a thrill to me. But I've had this on my mind ever since I got home last night and I was scrolling through TikTok. And because we were talking about thrifting all day, a bunch of thrifting videos came up on my feed. And this one lady had a friend. I don't remember where this lady lived, but her friend lived across on the other side of the country, and they would send each other thrifting boxes. And this lady, her friend sent her like 3 or 4 boxes of vintage clothes. Now this lady has an online store where she resells it, but it got me to thinking, and I kind of want to do this, but thrifting pen pals. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Do you remember, if you're my age or older, do you remember before computers were a thing, before AI was a thing, in school, we would have a pen pal. And sometimes we would somehow contact, another class overseas in another country, and we would write to each of us would choose another student and we would write and have a pen pal. It's how I met my absolute best friend. We were pen pals first, and now we are sisters. We lived on the opposite ends of the county, and we met at a youth group. And she walked up to me one day and said, "I want to write you a letter." And I said, "Okay, write me a letter." So we started writing each other letters and quickly became friends. Excuse me. So back to this thrifting pen pal thing. What if we combined it? Oh, also, I am starting to see a lot of educators trying to find creative ways to teach our young ones how to use the creative part of their mind without a computer. So I saw the other day this one college professor took all the computers out of their classroom and replaced them with typewriters. And a lot of students are talking about how educators are forcing students to turn in handwritten papers. So, like if you have to write a report on something, it has to be handwritten. So, I want to kind of be creative and maybe go back to that, only using thrifting as an excuse. So I want a thrifting pen pal. Does somebody out there want to be my thrifting pen pal? We could exchange items that we thrift. It doesn't have to be 3 boxes. I'm just saying, like, one cute little top or one cute little trinket that you find in a thrift store. What in the hell is going on? Get off of here. What in the world is happening? Okay. Okay. Please tell me if this is working. I don't think it is. Anybody? I probably sound like a freaking chipmunk again. Let's see if it works itself out. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, I want to stop for a minute and see what that sounds like. Okay, guys, I honestly do not know what the hell is going on with this computer, but I'm getting really frustrated, and I hope to God I don't sound like a chipmunk on crack right now. Anyway, thrifting pen pals. I want a thrifting pen pal. Does somebody want to be my thrifting pen pal? We could exchange one or two things that we thrift with a note or a letter through the mail. So if anybody wants to be my thrifting pen pal that doesn't live in Bluffton, that maybe if you're hearing this in another state, how fun would that be? How fun would that be? And I think I might make a TikTok video and put it out there and see if I can't get that to take off and find me a thrifting pen pal. I just think it would be so fun. I have a friend who lives in Iowa. I don't know if she listens to this or not, but she loves to thrift as well. And we exchange Snapchat videos of things that we thrift. She sends me more than I send her, but I love it. I just love to see what other people thrift. And I would love it if I could, have an excuse to be like, oh, I have this pen pal in, say, California that loves butterflies or vintage t shirts or vintage sandals. And you find something cute and you just write a little letter with it and say, I was thinking about you while I was thrifting, and um, send it to him. How fun would that be? I think that would be so much fun. So I hope my technical difficulties did not completely throw off my video. I feel like every single day this thing gives me shit, but a message popped up and said something about a system overload. I don't even know what the hell, like, it's pissing me off, but I hope I uh, am still recording this, and if not, we might have to re-record this podcast. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off. I love you guys. Thank you for your patience and sticking with me working through these technical difficulties. Um, and if you want to be my pen pal, reach out to me, okay? And I'm gonna give that more thought and maybe give it a little more structure and see if we can't get something going. Um, Again, I love you. Pray for me. I pray for you guys every single day. Uh, Hope you have a blessed day, and hopefully, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.